What's going on, folks? Painless. This is just this is my take, and my last video, you can see the thumbnail. I talked briefly about this before I even was aware of the septum ring theory. I see people are beginning to discuss it and talk about it. I've seen a couple videos, and a lot of it made sense. It's things that I had already knew. Well, things that I had already formulated an opinion about these sisters that are wearing these septum rings. And I've talked about, witches. These are the sisters. And I've seen a documentary maybe about 3 years ago on YouTube. It was a small snippet. I think it was something like, just like a real small segment, maybe 30 minutes. And, these are the sisters that, they've traded in Jesus for chakras and sage. That's all they've done. And this is where we at with this septum ring theory. Essentially, sisters who have supposedly seen the light, anti-Christian, anti-religion, I'm spiritual, blah, 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 and blah, okay? And see, myself, painless, shit, you can look at today. What's today? Sunday. Right now, there's a bunch of black folks, sitting somewhere in a church somewhere, especially black men, and they don't want to be there. But they're married to women, they wives, basically bogart them into being somewhere that they don't want to be. And I refuse to fall into that. Now, see, the thing with me is, while I reject, I don't believe in Christianity as it is written, or Jesus as it is written, and that doesn't mean I'm going out looking for something else. I'm not trying to be Merlin and shit, a magician, the equivalent, I'm not trying to be David Copperfield out this piece. When I wait, I don't give much thought to the afterlife and where the hell I'm going when I die. Some people need something to fuel them, to make them feel good, and that's fine. But see, this is where the problem comes at. These sisters that do that, they tend to be also divested of the so-called black community. And while I talk about the so-called black community, as many of you all know, many years, and I do say many years, I'm a G in this shit, okay? Proven and tested. I still associate with the so-called black community. These sisters have, or in the process of having absolutely nothing to do with the so-called black community. And this is, this sense of, being exotic. And I've said there's also traces of wanting to be white in this, amongst a lot of these sisters that are doing this. They want to be, see, black men, let me just say, and this is something that's not really discussed. See, most black men aren't trying to be white. as opposed to sisters. You don't see black men. Now, some of y'all may say, well, what about the Temptations? They used to perm their hair and all this stuff. It wasn't trying to be white. Those guys weren't trying to be, they didn't have white man on the brain disease. It was selling. But you look at these sisters now with these, with, you don't even know, you got sisters out here who haven't seen their real hair, don't even know the real length of their hair. And hair, I know that's a tired subject in the so-called black community. It's old. But, I just use it, I just bring it up to illustrate how, that still plays a part. It still will always be touched upon as we evolve in talking about colorism and not being happy about oneself in the so-called black community. You can never divorce the subject or the discussion of hair when talking about these issues, no matter how, even if this is in 2020, 2120, damn near 100 years from now, hair, because it's just part of the discussion. That's all it is. But this septum ring theory, these are the sisters that have, like I said, given up on Christianity, have turned to Wiccanism, and it basically just doing what white women do, doing what a lot. And what's so the irony of it? The irony of this is, you hear Wiccans and witches and stuff. White women doing this. The Doc Martens with the fishnet leggings pulled up. The black lipstick, the goth look, all that. Those are rejects in the white community. Those are rejects. And I find the irony is black men get, labeled as the Pookies and Ray Rays that you see running around here. But the irony is that a lot of these divested sisters, they've chosen this route. They've chosen this bad white girl route, this different white girl route, to attract a lot of these white guys. And I've said this: you attract what you get. You're gonna find what you're looking for. In essence, you're gonna find it. And then you couple that in, and all this signaling to, hey, look at me, I'm different. I'm not of that so-called black community. I'm different. I'm exotic. I'm a free thinker. I'm spiritual. Blah 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 blah. And it's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to break down. When you see it. And remember I said in the last, you can tell these types of women. These are the type of women that have not also rejected mainstream black church society as we know it. They've also have rejected. You got sisters on here telling people, don't go to work. Don't go to work. We gonna stop going to work. We can't make a living. Da 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 da. Now these are the types of sisters that had, and let me say this. Most black women that I've met, I would say about 75% of black women that I've met, they always have problems on the job. And I remember there's a brother, I forget the name, forgive me for forgetting your name. He he gave a little rundown on his experiences with sisters. And I think he said something to the effect of, hey, got these sisters that all they do, these professional sisters with all these goddamn degrees, JDs, MBAs, doctorate degrees, and they get in these positions, and then they think they can't cut it. They can't cut it. You know, I've seen many times in my professional settings where sisters get up there, try to do some training and shit, and the shit is just, it's like, all you're doing is reading from a damn slide. You're not even giving me any type of substance. I could have did this shit on my own. And, you know, this not putting forth, just there. And again, this further confirms that affirmative action really just benefited in the so-called black community, black women. That's all it did. Put these sisters. Oh, you have JD from the University of Memphis. Oh shit. Okay, we're gonna put you in charge of. Oh, you're an AKA. Oh, we're gonna put you in charge of oversight and equal opportunity. It's always some shit like that. Equal opportunity officer, you know, inclusion and diversity director. You know, you're not really in charge of shit. And you know, if you were to take that away, which it appears is going to, you know, these titles they don't really, you know, they're not really of any use or value. You know. And then when they can't cut that shit, when they can't cut the mustard with that, and then they get fired, now they got a DoorDash and work at Amazon. They got a DoorDash. Then the second job, they're a damn warehouse worker making damn cash registers and shit. Now they want to forget society. You know, a job doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't, you know, a job doesn't value you. There's more to life than working for somebody. And then they go through their little boss bitch phase to where they want to make cakes and make all type of unhealthy food, you know. Or they want to do hair and stuff, which ain't nothing wrong with doing hair because it's lucrative. And, you know, cosmetology is a respectable profession. But I'm talking about all this fake boss bitch. Oh, I'm not going to work for anybody. No, you would be working for somebody if you could have did your damn job and didn't get fucking fired. But since you were there because of a quota, we need 3 more Keishas up in here, that's why. And then you couldn't even cut it then. And I've said this, there's so many of these sisters with these college degrees and they get in them positions and they can't handle it. And then they want to fucking cry racism. But no, you were just inept or, you weren't good at your job. Then you got put on a PIP, you know, a performance and improvement plan, and to me, you know, having some type of familiarity with human resources. Once you get put on a PIP, your ass might as well start looking for a new damn job, because that's the outs. That signifies that's just a box check to get your ass out of there. So now that you failed with that. Now you got these degrees, student loan debt, you got to work, you know. Then you go through, you know, your door dashing, you're working at the Amazon fulfillment center, you know, breaking your damn back, you know. Then you want to do van life and say, oh, you know, I don't mind doing this. I don't mind living out my car. Bullshit. Then when that doesn't work, you're not making enough money selling, bad food, unhealthy food. Now you want to go into this spiritual, you know, a job doesn't define you. Money is just a construct. the concept of money is a construct. We're living in an anti-dimensional universe. Who needs money? I'm going to tell you who needs money. Motherfuckers that need somewhere to live. Shit. And this is where this septum ring, it's especially this is for women in the so-called, sisters in the so-called black community. It's promoting out of touch with reality type bullshit. This whole secret. Remember The Secret? Everybody was on that. Think it into existence. Okay. All right, think it into existence. Think that goddamn car payment into existence and see what happens. You need to work. And this is an anti-work sentiment associated, this rejection of society. We've seen Caucasian people go through this, the fuck society. I talked about this, the Occupy Wall Street folks back in the day. These trust fund reject babies, Doc Martin wearing, bone nose, pink hair, that type bullshit. So sisters are trying to mimic that now, who associate that. And it just doesn't work for you because your ass needs to work. So, and I say this, don't fall for this. Don't fall into this. And brothers, avoid these women at all costs. Avoid these sage smoking, change on the floor in astronomical patterns, Wiccan, spiritual shit, on some new age, free thinking, fucking eating watermelon. I'm going to eat watermelon. I'm just going to juice watermelon for 6 months straight. All this vegan, it's like, I'm a vegan now. The fuck? You're a vegan. You're a vegan out here. And I told you, it's always, this comes, and when you're younger, I understand you reinventing yourself. You're finding your niche in the world. But these are 42-year-old goddamn women doing this. Like, if you don't know who the fuck you is by 42, then, you're 5'6", 229 pounds, talking about you a vegan, and I look on your damn profile, your bed ain't you done got a profile pic. Your bed not fucking made. I can see the damn Cheetos on that damn paper plate on the nightstand with your ass tooted out, talking about you a vegan, talking about, I'm spiritual. No, the fuck you not. You're just trying to reinvent yourself, and you're trying to spin it off. And then you want to command all these damn requirements of a dude, and look at your motherfucking ass. Don't fall into this, guys. Don't be swayed by these women that be trying to do over that are doing this extra bullshit. Talking about they chain, a delight, and I've started doing this and doing that, and then when you see this is where it gets tricky, because the very essence of me doing a video like this, oh, you're being insensitive. Who are you? Who are you to judge? And see, don't fall for that bullshit. And I've always said this about judgment. And for you church Negroes, doesn't it say make a righteous judgment? Don't it say that in the good book? Judging is essential for survival. If I know there's crocodiles in that goddamn river, I can make a judgment like, do I want to go down there to that bank and get this water? Or do I want to go down to the other end? I made a judgment. Coke or Pepsi, goddammit. Burger King or McDonald's. Captain D's or Long John Silver's. We all fucking judge. Don't fall. Don't And that's what society wants. Like, you can't say shit about shit. And then when you do, even if it's at the detriment of yourself, you still supposed to shut the hell up. Nah, So I take that same application to women who are into this septum theory, ring theory. It's just some sisters out here. They're no different than the AKAs, the skiwis with the extensions, trying to look white with the straight hair. These are the sisters that have gone the gutter punk, rock, Wiccan witch route. That's all they've done. They're the same. They've just taken different paths of trying to be a white woman. Septum ring theory are trying to be gutter punk, slasher white reject girl. These are the rejects that white men don't even really fuck with, and you've chosen to adopt that. And we can go deep into the ramifications of what white men really see when that. I've heard people talk about it represents, like, I think, what's his name, Tariq Nasheed. He was talking about it represents like savagery, like the black woman in her natural state with a damn bone in her goddamn nose, and he gets a rise out of that. His perversion, he gets real, he gets real aroused by that, by seeing a black woman in that. But I said this, you lose, sisters, at the end of the day when you do this. See, like I said earlier in the portions of this video, I said myself, I don't subscribe to Christianity as it is practiced and written. That black folks, American black folks, that typically I don't. But I didn't go to Amazon and find a fucking book on how to be a magician. Who was Merlin? I didn't do that shit. I just looked like the universe is about decisions. It's about decisions. You made the decision to go down to that bank where all them damn crocodiles was at, and they got to doing the death roll on your ass. They got the crip walking on your motherfucking ass. And now you're not here no more. That was a choice. That's a choice. Life is about choices, decisions. You can jump in that car knowing you didn't have 211. You can jump in that car. You can jump in that car knowing you had 240 ounces of 211 Steel Reserve. You just smoked 3 blunts. And now you done smacked into a damn guardrail or a damn street pole. You could have chilled and slept it off, but no, you wanted to go see that girl so bad, and that was the result. Decisions. Okay? So this is so easy, at least for me, to dissect. This wanting to be different, and this whole anti-black, and they fall into the anti-black man. See, you got the professional sisters, that the gatekeepers, which has been talked about a long time. Directors of HR. Soon as they see Rashawn Patterson, and Rashawn Patterson has all these accolades and achievements and degrees, he's qualified for the job. They're like, oh hell no, And in some cases, he's more qualified than her gatekeeping ass. Okay? So we know that. We know that. Now you have the septum ring, the gutter punk chicks that are, just trying to be different, and they don't mess with black guys, and they have their own ways of disqualifying. you know, black men for whatever reason. Usually it's on some feminist shit. This is your feminist. I'm a feminist. If you voted for Trump, I can't tell you how many profiles I've seen of these sisters looking busted with that damn. And I was noticing, and it's not just sisters. This is something, but it's being mimicked. There, you got all type of women on these little Facebook dating shit, wearing these. And to me, Facebook dating, it's there. I mean, I remember when it popped up, it's an icon. And by curiosity, you flipping and seeing. And when I see that shit, these are the women, you got these white women on here with this bullshit septum ring, pink hair, fucking, wearing the damn go speed racer shirts and shit from the 80s, talking about, hey, I'm a package deal, my kids come first, I work 2 jobs, if you're a Trump supporter, swipe left, I'm a feminist, I'm an LGBT plus BLM supporter, blah, 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 blah. Like, shit. This is what you see. And you know what? They got that bone bull ring. I used to call it a bull ring. And many of y'all heard me reference that. A fucking bull ring. But apparently, to be PC, I stand corrected, a septum ring. But yeah, guys, if you take anything, this to summarize, to wrap this shit up. About to wrap this goddamn shit up, man. Stay away from these women. Stay away from them. I've talked about the wild, we know the multiple tattoos, and that goes in tandem with these rings, the tattoos, the pink hair, and it's applied to sisters, this Rasta look, wearing sisters that they're just reformed. They couldn't cut it out in corporate society. Now they want to be fucking witches. Now they want to go against the grain. Now they want to say college degrees ain't shit. You don't have to work. We shouldn't have to work, No, don't fall for that shit, because as soon as they have an opportunity to get back in good corporate graces, they're going to switch that shit up. But you know what? They're going to have the same mentality. Gatekeepers, keeping black men out, qualified black men, and that's all. If anything, also, these types of sisters are interchangeable. Like I just said, would they ride the wave of corporate, being in the corp, only sister in there, even though your job title doesn't really do shit, you're just a quota, and, you think you're hot shit. Now, this is not all sisters, but I'm saying the ones that entertain this, and then when you're not meeting standards and you get put on a PIP, your ass is out of there. Now you want to be, fuck society. I'm a lady, hear me roar, natural hair. You ain't got the extensions, the Brazilian hair anymore. Now you're on some Erykah Badu weird ass shit, seance and incense shit, because you couldn't cut it in corporate society. So, miss me. The jig is up. Painless out.